the teacher who paid for students' meals in secret. In schools across America, kids sometimes skip lunch, not because they aren't hungry, but because they can't afford it. But at one school, no child ever went without, and for years, no one knew why. Meet Mrs. Thompson, a teacher in her 50s. She wasn't wealthy, she wasn't famous, just an ordinary educator with an extraordinary heart. She spent her days teaching math and her evenings grading papers. But behind the lessons and the chalkboard, she carried a secret. Mrs. Thompson noticed something others overlooked. Students skipping lunch, kids avoiding the cafeteria line, not because they weren't hungry, but because their lunch accounts were in debt. It broke her heart. She knew hunger wasn't just about an empty stomach. It meant kids couldn't focus, couldn't learn, couldn't thrive. So, she made a decision. Without telling anyone, not her colleagues, not even the kids, Mrs. Thompson started quietly paying off student meal debts with her own paycheck. Month after month, year after year, she covered the costs. To her, it wasn't charity, it was dignity. Every child deserved to eat without shame. For years, no one knew, until one day, a parent learned what she'd been doing. Word spread like wildfire. The community was stunned. Reporters showed up. Parents wrote letters. Students, some of whom had grown up and moved on, returned to thank her. What began as a quiet act of kindness became a lesson in humanity. The story didn't end there. Inspired by her example, local businesses raised funds, strangers donated. Other schools started meal programs to ensure no child went hungry again. Mrs. Thompson never asked for recognition, but her simple, secret act of kindness created a movement. To my friends in the Europe, Mrs. Thompson's story reminds us that true impact isn't always loud. Sometimes the greatest heroes are the quiet ones, working in the shadows, changing lives one small act at a time, because feeding a child doesn't just fill a stomach, it feeds a future.